everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time tuning in, I'm Donna and my channel is On a Day. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting. I appreciate all my new subscribers. I wish I could name you all, but we'll leave that. You know who you are. Okay, this is part 10 of my book haul, and I want to get through these books so I could show you an unpackaging coming up of some of my books. I haven't even opened them because I want to show you. I want you to enjoy it like I do. Now, I am still in the month of October of the books that I have purchased. So, first of all, let me say, Merry Christmas. That's coming up. This is December, and we are in a whole new month. We're at the end of this year, and I have some good things planned for my videos coming up. So I got my nails done so I could be festive. I've got my eggnog. So let's get into the holiday cheer. But like I said, let's get into these books. Let me take a sip. Can't drink too much. Love eggnog. All right, books I have purchased in the month of October. One is Love, Honor, Betray, the Lexington, Alabama series. This is a series by Mary Monroe. And Mary Monroe writes some good series. This is the third book in the series. I still have yet to read number 2. I read number 1, Mrs. Wiggins. I read this one. And I purchased the second one, which is Empty Vows. And I have yet to read that one. I loved Mrs. Wiggins. Loved it, loved it. She writes some good Southern historical fiction. And so this was my third purchase. It was published in March of 2023. So this came out this year. An award-winning New York Times bestselling author, Mary Monroe, which I have had the pleasure of meeting and talking to on a personal level. She is wonderful. She says none of her family reads her books, which I find disturbing, but she delivers the latest thrilling, scandal-filled novel in her Depression-era saga of a church-going lady and her oh-so upstanding husband racing to cover up their many sins and gambling on one scheme too many. Her books are always filled with a little drama, a little mystery, along with the historical content. But this should be really good. And I don't know if she's going to write any more in that series, but I got to catch up. This is number 3. With mysterious serial murders putting peaceful Lexington, Alabama on edge, Jesse and Hubert Wiggins' steadfast calm and devotion to each other reassures everyone that faith will see them through. But Jesse and Hubert have paid a terrible hidden cost to maintain their devout facade and respectable standing. Nothing can allay the guilt they feel or stop the growing distrust between them. So I know if Mrs. Wiggins was good, this is definitely going to be a good read. So if you have not read any of her books, I highly, highly recommend it. I enjoy them. Okay, moving on. Now, this book, which I also purchased in October, was reviewed by another booktuber, and she thoroughly enjoyed this book. I had my eye on it. I had it in my cart on my book site that I order books through. And I kept wondering about it. Well, she just confirmed that this book is worth the read. And I got it in paperback, which is very unusual for me because I love hardback. But this is a large print edition, which I probably need because I don't know if you all remember my previous videos. If you watched me, I have vision problem. That's why I'm reading on my papers. I have to print out so I can read it. They're in super large print. But this is a book called By Her Own Design. It's a novel of Lowe, fashion designer to the social register. And the author is Piper Huguley. I hope I'm saying her name right. This book was published in February of 2022. It is fiction. However, this is based on true facts, the incredible untold story of how Anne Lowe, a Black woman and granddaughter of slaves, rose above personal struggles and racial prejudice to design and create one of America's most famous wedding dresses of all time for Jackie Kennedy. It starts out in 1953, New York City, less than a week before the society wedding of the year, where Jacqueline Bouvier will marry John F. Kennedy. A pipe burst at Anne Lowe's dress shop, and ruins 11 dresses, including the expensive wedding dress, a dress that will be judged by thousands. A Black designer who has fought every step of the way and knows this is only one struggle after a lifetime of them. She and her seamstresses will find a way to recreate the dresses. It may take all day and all night for the next week to accomplish the task, but they will do it. It goes on and on. It talks about her struggles as a fashion designer and how she pretty much was kept out of the newspapers, out of the limelight. They did not mention her as the person making this fabulous wedding gown for Jackie Onassis Kennedy. Anyway, she was raised in Jim Crow, Alabama. She learned the art of sewing from her mother and her grandmother, a former slave, who are the most talented seamstresses in the state. After Anne elopes at 12 with an older man who soon proves himself to be an abusive alcoholic, her dreams of becoming a celebrated designer seem to be put on hold. But then a wealthy Tampa socialite sees Anne's talent and offers her an amazing opportunity, the chance to sew and design clothing for Florida's society elite. Taking her young son in the middle of the night, Anne escapes her husband and embarks on the adventure of a lifetime. And like I said, this is based on the true story of one of the most famous designers of the 20s through the 60s, who has since been unjustly forgotten. Well, me, historical fiction along with some true facts, I'm all in. I'm all in. Not only did I purchase that book, but I also purchased this off of Amazon. And this book is by Piper Angela Belton. It is the life story of America's first Black American woman, Haute Couture Designer. So she designed some high fashion things. And this is a picture of her, Anne Lowe, on the back. I'm sorry if my lighting is not acting right. There we go. But this is not fiction. This is I guess it's biographical. Anyway, she grew up in Montgomery, Alabama, which I'm in Alabama. So anyway, this is going to be some good reading. All right, moving on. I also purchased in the month of October When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. This is a small book, but I also saw another booktuber talk about it, and I think they enjoyed the book. It's an occult fiction. Not quite my genre, but I said, well, hey, why not? Maybe I'll give it a try. This was published in June of 2021. A haunting novel about a Black woman who returns to her hometown for a plantation wedding and the horror that ensues as she reconnects with the blood-soaked history of the land and the best friends she left behind. Lord, and I'm in the South, and let me tell you, there's nothing but plantations around me. You can still see the old slave quarters or old Southern homes that are falling apart, dilapidating. You know, the house is sinking into the ground. It's just fascinating. Well, anyway, I thought this would be a good read to befit where I am located. It says, more than a decade ago, Myra fled her small segregated hometown in the South to forget. With every mile she traveled, she distanced herself from her past, from her best friend, Celine, mocked by their town as the only white girl with Black friends, from her own neighborhood, from the eerie Woodsman plantation, rumored to be haunted by the spirits of slaves, from the terrifying memory of a ghost. She saw that terrible day when a dare gone wrong almost got Jesse, the boy she secretly loved, arrested for murder. Ooh, okay. But now Mira is back in Gibson to attend Celine's wedding at the plantation, which has been transformed into a lush vacation resort. Mira hopes to reconnect with her friends. Hold on, let me turn the page. And especially Jessie, to finally tell him the truth about her feelings and the events of that devastating long ago day. I'm going to stop there. It says, as the weekend unfolds, Mira, Jessie, and Celine are forced to acknowledge their history together and to save themselves from what is to come. So this is good. I don't know if this is a debut novel, LaTanya McQueen. I will have to do some investigating when the reckoning comes. Okay. You're going to have to do a quick read on that one. All right. Now, October. We're still in the month of October. Let's see. I bought this book. It's called Wild Women and the Blues. And this is by Denny S. Bryce. And nothing but good reviews have been floating around on this one. It's a historical fiction. This was published March of 2021. So it's been out a couple of years. And it's based in 1925. Chicago is the jazz capital of the world. And the Dreamland Cafe is the ritziest black and tan club in town. Black and tan. Honorée Dalcourt is a sharecropper's daughter willing to work hard and dance every night on her way to the top. Dreamland offers a path to the good life, socializing with celebrities like Louis Armstrong and filmmaker Oscar Micheaux. I think I'm saying his name right. But Chicago is also awash in bootleg whiskey, gambling, and gangsters. And a young woman driven by ambition might risk more than she can stand to lose. Then it goes to 2015, and it says film student Sawyer Hayes arrives at the bedside of 110-year-old Honore Delcourt, still reeling from a devastating loss that has taken him right to the brink. Sawyer has rested all his hopes on this frail but formidable woman, the only living link to the legendary Oscar Michaud. If he's right, if she can fill in the blanks in his research, perhaps he can complete his thesis and begin a new chapter in his life. But the links Honore makes are not ones he's expecting. Oh, yeah. Oscar Michaud was the first Black filmmaker, producer. I want to get some history on him. I would love to read the book about him as well. I don't have any, but I'll keep looking. And then you've got Chicago during the jazz scene. Oh, this is going to be good. And also, I showed you previously, I got this book by Denny S. Bryce, and that's In the Face of the Sun. She's cranking out books. She has, I think, three books after In the Face of the Sun. And I can't keep up with her. I'm going to try. I will try. But this had nothing but good reviews. And that cover is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm thinking, is that the Renaissance era? Well, anyway, I'm going to read it. All right, we're still in October. And I bought this book because all of a sudden, Gail Jones is cranking out books too, like you wouldn't believe. And it says, Butter, Novella Stories, and Fragments. So I got this here. This was published in April of 23, so it came out this year. It is a wide-ranging collection including 2 novellas and 10 stories exploring complex identities from the acclaimed author of Corregidora, The Healing, and Palmares. So I also purchased from her this year The Birdcatcher, Song for Anita, and Song for Anino. And then Palmares. It's a big one. I also got this one. It's a chunker. I have not read any of those. I do have some of her other books like Mosquito. And anyway, some of her older classics. And I'm looking forward to digging into this one too. Short stories, I hope. It says Gail Jones, who was first edited by Toni Morrison, has been described as one of the great literary writers of the 20th century and was recently a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize in Fiction. This new collection of short fiction is only the second in her rich career and one that displays her strengths in the genre in many facets, opening with 2 novella-length works, Butter and Sophia. This collection features Jones' legendary talents in a range of settings and styles, from the hyper-realist to the mystical, and intricate multi-part stories in more traditional forms and even in short fragments. So I gotta just dig into her books. I've got them here. So whenever I decide, they're right here. They're right here. All right, and the last book I'm going to talk about, and we're still in the month of October. I need to start a book anonymous club. Cause I order books all the time. Okay. And I need to know if anyone has heard of this. I hadn't, but it was on my list of books coming out in like the next 60 days on my faithful African American site that I look into, and it sounded interesting. It's literary fiction. It's called The Peach Seed, and it's by Anita Gail Jones. And this came out August of this year, August of 23. So it's a fairly new book. And when I saw it, I said, oh my, yeah, I'm going to snatch that up. And let me tell you what it's about. Fletcher Dukes and Altavice Benson reunite after decades apart in a mountain of secrets. In this debut, it's a debut, exploring the repercussions of a single choice and how an enduring talisman challenges and holds a family together. Let me continue. On a routine trip to the Piggly Wiggly in Albany, Georgia, widower Fletcher Dukes smells a familiar perfume, then sees a tall woman, the color of paper shell pecans, with a strawberry birthmark on the nape of her neck. He knows immediately that she is his lost love, Altavice Benson. Their bond, built on county fairs, sit-ins, and marches, once seemed a sure and forever thing, but their marriage plans were disrupted when the police turned a peaceful protest violent. Oh yeah. Before Altavice fled the South, Fletcher gave her a peach seed monkey with diamond eyes. As we learned via harrowing flashbacks, an enslaved ancestor on the coast of South Carolina carved the first peach seed, a talisman that ever since each father has gifted his son on his 13th birthday. Giving one to Altavice initiated a break in tradition, irrevocably shaping the lives of generations of Ducases. Recently, Fletcher has made do on his 7 acres with his daughter Florida's check-ins, his drop biscuits, and his faithful dog. But as he begins to reckon with long ago choices, he finds he isn't the only one burdened with unspoken truths. This is an indelible portrait of a family. The Peach Seed explores how kin pass down legacies of sorrow, joy, and strength, and it is a parable of how a glimmer of hope, as small as a seed, can ripple across generations. Oh, that is a little muddled for me, but I'm hoping that the description is just a little vague to what is actually in this book. It sounds like it can be a good read. So that's why I got it, The Peach Seed. And if you have heard of it, if you've read it, please comment and let me know what you think, so I know whether, and I need to redo my cart. My cart needs to prioritize some books here. Of course, I got more books than I can put on this cart. However, I'm going to continue what I do because I love it. And I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. I'm going to end this here and we'll talk next time. Bye.